What's going on, everybody? Thanks for those joining me live and to those that'll be joining me on archive. DStyleBoxing here. Let's talk a little wrestling here. Just, just a little bit. Just a little bit. Um, I'm trying to. I'm going to give you two examples. We're going to go over two examples. There's more, and there's other stuff you could find online that go into better explain detail than me, but you always hear, man, Hogan when he turned heel at Bash at the Beach, and I guess he did. He turned into a Hollywood Hogan, and that was a very successful angle in WCW. Maybe the Hogan in WCW was a real face. I don't know. I never really watched WCW product prior to the NWO, so I couldn't tell you. But in the 80's and in the early 90's, everybody talks about how Hulk Hogan was this face, good guy, like, squeaky clean guy, told everybody to take their vitamins and say their prayers, and oh my God, he's such a good guy. Why? Because he told kids to eat their vitamins and say their prayers? It always came off as sarcastic to me. I don't know about you guys. I never thought Hogan was like being serious when he would say that. Like, it came off as condescending to me. But let's leave that aside for a moment, right? I'm not really talking about the generic, my Hulkamaniacs and this, that, and the third. I'm not talking about that. But Hogan did some asshole stuff as a quote-unquote face, right? As a good guy. He did some pretty asshole stuff. There's some angles where, in all honesty, he was clearly in the wrong. So let's go over the first one. This was back right before WrestleMania 3, when he had that infamous match where he body slammed the 500-pound Andre the Giant, right? First of all, the WWF lied that Hogan was the first to body slam Andre the Giant. Okay, he had been body slammed, but that's not here nor there. This is not the age of social media, and I don't even think there's footage of it that I know of. Maybe there is. I don't know. I didn't research it. But even then, now we have the internet and stuff like that. And I don't know how right they were about Andre the Giant being undefeated for 20 years. I don't know how true that is, but that's how it was being promoted. Andre the Giant hasn't been body slammed in his career, much less lose, all right? He deserved a title shot. Like, why was Hogan not wanting to give Andre the Giant his title shot? What was so wrong about that? Like, just because Bobby Heenan, right, told Andre the truth. He told Andre the Giant the truth. Bruh, like, you're undefeated. Like, Hogan is ducking you. Like, he's best friends with you, so he doesn't have to face you in the ring. It's true. Hogan, for all those years, was palling up with Andre the Giant. That's not what the storyline told you, but what does logic tell you? Like, when you think about it, why shouldn't Andre have demanded a title shot? He was destroying everybody. He was winning all the battle royals. Any body slam challenge, whatever it was, he was winning. He was being promoted as being undefeated for 20 fucking years. Of course, Bobby the Brain Heenan convinces him to go for it, and Hogan starts crying like a little girl. Live on TV, no, Andre! We're friends, Andre! You try to guilt him into not facing him. That is a heel move. Okay? I don't care how you slice it, dice it. Hogan was being a little bitch. All right? When you think about it, why can't Andre the Giant get his title shot? Why shouldn't he say, I want to be the heavyweight champion of the world? I'm 7'4". I've been undefeated for 20 years. Nobody's even quote unquote body slammed me, much less put me down for the pin. And look, the promotion worked when people bought it. Like Andre the Giant hasn't even been body slammed for 20 years. And when finally Hogan body slammed them on WrestleMania 3 in closed circuit, and when you look at, what was it, the Pontiac Silverdome? I mean, that thing was packed, and they went crazy. That's really all that really happened in that match. You know, Savage and Steamboat easily had the best match of the night. But Hogan body slamming Andre was the moment. You know, I mean, just picked them up, body slammed them, and everybody went crazy in that fucking dome, right? So it was brilliant promoting, but there's no doubt about it that Hogan was the heel in that situation. Like, it's period. Like, Hogan should have given him. Why did Hogan offer him a title shot? He's your friend. Offer him a title shot. Why can't Andre the Giant get a title shot? I think Hogan waited till Andre the Giant got old. Okay? That's what he did. He palled around with him for 8 years. Okay? Kept telling Andre, we're best friends, so that's how we'll never wrestle. While he had the fucking belt. That's a heel move. Okay? That's what that is. You wouldn't get it. You wouldn't reach a point of, like, well, fuck that shit. You wouldn't reach that point? So that's one example. Let's look at another example where Hogan, the character Hogan, looking back, is the clear heel of the situation. Okay? Now, there's some other ones, but I want to go to ones that people could resonate with. The Mega Power storyline. Everybody loved Randy Savage. First of all, it was a fresh breath air. Right? Like this whole Hogan every year thing for 5-6 years, nonstop. Okay? Like, it was getting old. You know, it was getting old. But Hogan always had to involve himself in one way or another, in some shape or form. First of all, when it was supposed to be Randy Savage versus Ric Flair, okay, because Flair and Hogan, for whatever reason, couldn't agree to have a fucking match at WrestleMania. Okay, I don't know what the fuck happened there. That should have been the match at WrestleMania 8, but that's not the way it turned out. Flair won the Royal Rumble. He was the WWF champion. Randy Savage was going to challenge him for the championship. That was Savage's biggest moment. That should have been the main event, but no. But no, Hogan versus Sid Vicious in the match that ended by, what was it, double count out of some bullshit, was the main event. Now, that's not storyline, but that's just a side thing. Let's stick to a storyline. So Hogan, you know, in his glory, because it's all about Hogan and his glory, he decided to, just like he did with Andre, right, pal around, okay? He pal around with his, actually, hold on, pause, stop. I made a huge mistake, right? I just made a huge mistake. So my apologies. I went like 3-4 years ahead. So from when the Mega Powers thing happened. So let's backtrack a little bit, okay? Let's go back to WrestleMania 4, right? When Savage beat the $1 Million Man. My apologies, right? But anyway, the Mega Powers occurred. All right. So let me get this straight, right? So let me try to understand this. So Hogan, you know, he tries to, like, Savage, and he has his wife as a valet and all that, you know, Miss Elizabeth, okay? I don't know if they were married then. I think in real life, I don't know about storyline, but they were together. Hogan had to pal around with Randy Savage for whatever reason. I think they became champions, tag team champions, I think, but they were involved in some big main events. but it was always about Hogan. Okay. First of all, Hogan was clearly flirting with Miss Elizabeth. It's not clearly, and it's all revealed at the very end, by the way, right? And Macho Man was like, "Take your eyes off my wife," like, or my girl, or whatever, right? But Macho Man will let it go. Like, he's like, "Oh, I don't want to be jealous," or I don't know, am I seeing something, right? Because this storyline was slowly built throughout the year, because Savage and Hogan had a match at WrestleMania 5, right? And Savage was going to turn quote unquote heel. But I'm going to explain to you why Savage had every right to got upset and beat the shit out of Hogan the way he did. Okay, because any man would have. They were in a tag team match. Okay, Hogan or one of the Twin Tower dudes hit Savage or threw him out of the ring, and he accidentally bumped into Miss Elizabeth. It was an accident, right? Hogan, instead of concentrating on the match, they have EMTs and stuff and doctors. But no. Hogan picks up Miss Elizabeth, puts his fucking sweaty ass hands all over her, picks her up, okay, and walks her all the way to the back, and and starts praying. It's just so stupid, okay? Like, Savage just bumped into her on the outside, dude, okay? He starts praying, "Oh, please be okay," and "Please be okay." Savage is out there getting his ass beat, right? He's getting double teamed by these two big motherfuckers, right? He's getting beat up. All while this dude's over here probably rubbing on her thighs, shit, while he's praying, and who knows what the fuck Hogan's doing over there, okay, by himself with Elizabeth, okay, with no EMTs or anything. Hogan apparently wasn't letting EMTs in, because if she was knocked out unconscious like that, I mean, you would think, instead of praying like an idiot, okay, you're going to call for someone who knows what the fuck's going on. I mean, I was just waiting for Hogan to start doing CPR on Miss Elizabeth, okay? Like, I was just waiting for that moment. Hogan finally goes out or whatever, and I don't know, apparently Savage just starts to beat the shit out of Hogan. He beats the shit out of him in the back, okay? He's all telling Miss Elizabeth, Hogan is, "Oh, tell him he's losing his mind," and this, that, and the third. And Savage kept talking about the lust that he has for Miss Elizabeth, right? And Hogan's denying it the whole time. "Nah, I don't have any lust for her. You're crazy, brother." Like, like, okay. Everyone knows, okay, guys and girls, men and women can't be friends like that, okay? Like, everybody knows that. That's a bunch of horse shit. Okay, I'm just a really, really, really good friend with Miss Elizabeth. Right, bro. Okay? Now, there were some other instances, okay? Like, Hogan would randomly, like, when they would win a match, he would, like, put his hands all over Elizabeth and lift her on the shoulder and stuff like that. And Savage would give the look like, whoa, what? Of course, okay? With his hand all over her thigh and shit while she's sitting on his shoulder. Like, we didn't notice Hogan, all right? And then, towards the end of this storyline, Hogan admits that he was getting feelings for Elizabeth. He admits it. Now, Elizabeth is with Savage, okay? She is with Randy Savage. That's her man. Hogan starts to try and get her to, it became a thing. Like, whose corner will Miss Elizabeth be in at WrestleMania? Like, it became a big thing. Now, I don't remember whose corner she was in. I think she was neutral or some shit like that. Okay? And then everybody said Savage was a heel and such a bad guy because he had the audacity to come out and say, "You're with me, Elizabeth. You're going to be in my corner." Well, yeah, it's his girlfriend. Like, well, why wouldn't he say that? Like, why is Hogan trying to get, like, he was trying to steal Miss Elizabeth? All right? This whole, Savage wasn't wrong. He wasn't crazy. He knew Hogan was getting some affectionate feelings towards her. All right? That's a total heel. Jerk heel. Let me give you another one. WrestleMania 9, right? WrestleMania 9. Well, actually, WrestleMania 8, since I fucked it up earlier, let me give you one WrestleMania 8. Hogan was eliminated from the Rumble. And then he helps Flair eliminate Sid Justice. Sid Vicious, Psycho Sid, whatever you want to call him. Right? They called him Sid Justice back then. I mean, what a sore loser move. What a sore loser move. And then it helps Flair in the process. You know? Complete. Just a sore loser. All right? That's not what a good guy does. That's not a good message to put on to kids. Think of all the messages that Hulk Hogan indirectly. Do I think that the writers, intended for him to be a heel? Probably not. But when you think about it, he really was. He really was a piece of shit. Right? Look at what he did to Andre and then Macho Man. Like all the dudes that turned into a bad guy, like they had like a legitimate reason. Like they really did. What else? Who else? So Hogan, right? At WrestleMania 9, this was in Caesar's Palace. The headliner wasn't Hogan. Gasp! It was Bret Hart versus Yokozuna. Bret Hart was a champ, right? He had just defeated Ric Flair, who regained the title later that year, right? So he was going to defend it against Yokozuna. First of all, Hulk Hogan is interviewed after one of his matches. By the way, he has a black eye. Legend has it that Randy Savage gave him that black eye. All right, legend has it, and I believe it. Okay, like I don't know what happened. He was probably trying to hit on Miss Elizabeth for real or something. Okay, but did it happen? Did it not happen? Who fucking knows? Okay. WrestleMania 9. This dude, right, cuts a promo after his match, and they ask him about the main event. And he's talking about how he wants to face the winner of the main event. Now, notice his hypocrisy in a moment, but he says, I want to face the winner of the main event. And then he proceeds to say that he's going for Bret Hart because, and I quote, Bret Hart is a Hulkamaniac. So he reduced the reigning champion to a Hulk Hogan fanboy. Apparently, and he was really trying to show people that, but that's how it came off. Okay, and when you have someone who's dominated wrestling in the 80s and the early 90s, underselling someone that they're trying to promote as the future, that wasn't cool. Okay, now a lot of people that aren't interested that much aren't going to catch that. Okay, but I caught it. But that's not even the big thing, right? Hulk Hogan, right, still found a way to be in the main event. Now, granted, he was palling around with Bret Hart, but yet he wanted Bret Hart to give him a title shot. Yet when Andre the Giant asked for a title shot, it was a betrayal, according to Hulk Hogan. Okay, right. And then he wanted a 7'4", 500-pound Andre the Giant to put him over, but Bret Hart was too small for Hogan. I got news for Hogan. Andre was bigger than you are than Bret by far. Okay, so that makes you a hypocrite. But back to that's backstage shit. It's 6 storylines. Speaking of grandstanding, Hulk Hogan comes out. Mr. Fuji throws salt in the eyes of Bret Hart or some shit, and Bret Hart's blinded, and Yokozuna wins the title. Okay, Yokozuna was champion for 2 fucking minutes, right? Hulk Hogan comes out. Yokozuna just came off a match with Bret the Hitman Hart. and he gets challenged to a match in fairness, right? And instead of doing the right thing and saying, no, 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 you guys cheated, because he went out there supposedly to tell the ref that they cheated, right? I mean, how long was it going to take to get, fucking salt out of the eyes of Bret Hart, or what? And I don't think anybody's ever brought this up, but storyline wise, the right thing to do would have been, oh, you want to wrestle again? Let's clean off Bret Hart's eyes, right? Once he gets his vision back, we'll ring the bell again. Let's restart this match. No, that's not what Hogan did. The moment they say, like, he was all concerned, like looking at Bret, like, oh my God, look at what they did. This is devastating. Now, he was acting like the most horrible screw job has ever happened. The moment he was challenged to the match, the dude rolls into the ring, boot, leg drop, 1, 2, 3. He gets the belt. He poses with the belt. He doesn't give a shit about Bret Hart. Like, whoa, Bret who? Like, wait, what? Now, he was in storyline, was calling out Bret Hart, right? Did he wrestle Bret Hart? No, he didn't. He went off to WCW, refused to put the guy over. Look, is that storyline? Is it not? But for what it's worth, that's what happened, right? Anyway, not to mention let's talk about the moves Hogan would do. Hogan would do this thing where he would hit the guys in the corner and then bite them, like in their head. Think about that. Imagine, look at the heat Tyson got. And I know this is real life, but think about it storyline wise. How could the good guy be the one biting the other dude? That makes no fucking sense, right? He would do a lot of classic heel moves, right? Like, he would do this thing where he would, like, get the tip of his boot or whatever, and like just like slide it across the forehead of the downed opponent. That's a heel move, dude. He would do this clawing of the back, where he would claw the dude's back. Like what? Like what? Classic heel. Hogan would also, I know. Nowadays, everybody punches. Everyone does. Okay. I think it's because wrestling imitates art and imitates, what's popular today. MMA is. So everybody punches now. But back in the day, heels would be the ones that punched, because punching was against the rules, because it was wrestling. That's why the ref would warn them, hey, no close fists, right? So that's why the heels would punch, so the fans could be like, hey, he's cheating, right? Hogan would always punch. And we're talking about the 80's. That is heel. That's a fucking heel, dude. Right? He's biting dudes, okay? Clawing them with his nails in their back. Like, what? Like, what? This is some heel shit. But let's go ahead and look at the comments real quick. All right. I don't know if anybody can think of any other heel shit right off the top of the dome. Well, those are the ones that right off the bat that I thought about. Just storyline wise, like, I could go over Hogan behind the scenes is a real piece of shit, right? But this is what the writers wrote, and the dude was a story. He was a fucking bad guy. Like, it's clear as day. Cheated during matches. Black Latino, Dirty Goatee Hogan was the best. Hollywood Hogan, all right. Hulk Hogan, we're coming for you. Oh yeah, that's Booker T, yeah. We'll pack all day. By now, we can safely say Hogan buried the world. Yeah, Cable, true. Tape 5, Hogan used to do the eye rake dirty. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. The eye rake, right? He would poke the dude's eyes. And people think this was not just Hollywood. Like, the way Hogan wrestled as Hollywood Hogan was just like he did it as the regular Hogan. The only difference was he didn't do the Hulk up. He wouldn't Hulk up Like, you remember that retarded shit where he would Hulk up and all that and do the you and then all that? He wouldn't do that as Hollywood Hogan, but that's about it. Cable, Hogan should have been heel in 1988 and on, but WWF were geniuses, created Hulk and made him a monster babyface. Not much of a babyface. Exactly something heels do, says Cable to T87. It's true D style, says Cable. Heels would wait till the ref turned his back and close fist punch someone, says Cable. Yeah. And that psychology's gone, unfortunately. What I cannot stand is this. Well, I'll talk about that another day. I want to stick this to Hogan. I'll do some other videos shortly, but that's all I got about Hulk Hogan for now. All right, we'll wrap this one up, guys. It's just D-Style. Let me see here, really quick. Let me read these comments really quick. Cable says Hogan would also no-sell a lot of moves for many years, and he used the Hulk up to do it. I agree. The worst thing Hogan would do is when he was booked to lose, he would kick out right at 3. That is fucking insane, man. Right? Anyway, do another wrestling video shortly. I'll be back, guys. Peace.